Can we be live now, please? Yes! I want to start streaming the event. Good! Now we're live. There we go. I don't know why it doubted me on me wanting to go live.
We are live. I see us on
Okay,
stream.
there we go. Wow, YouTube just continues to be fantastically awful at all of its endeavors. It's truly impressive. I apologize if we're experiencing any buffering. I tried to work with its constantly conflicting information.
Hi, Sean.
So how we doing, guys? We looking okay?
Hi, Zafra.
There we go.
Zafira.
Okay.
Hi, Chris.
And yeah, this for whatever reason YouTube makes it very, very difficult to find the way back into your stream if the browser closes. And I found a way. For the first time, we actually found a way back into the stream. Alright.
Hi, the A Games.
So I think, alright, so we got people coming in. We actually have the stream rolling, so let's do our little 1, 2, 3. Hey guys, Jake and MJ, back again for more live reactions to Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Throw them away.
I almost said Kaito, said Ty Lupin Ranger.
It's been a little while for that.
Hi guys!
Hey.
I do not have the flu!
Congratulations.
It's just a really bad cold.
Yeah, so, yeah, YouTube, the browser just spontaneously just crashed, like, 5 minutes before we were about to go live.
What just happened to the browser?
It's like, where'd it go? It was there a moment ago, and then it was gone. MJ's sick, as you can tell.
I have a really bad cold I picked up from my friends over the weekend while we were in the cabin, which I went to right after the last live stream.
Yeah. So, apparently...
We decided to lie dormant until...
If you go into classic mode in YouTube Studio, you can find how to get back into the studio room of a pre-established stream. You can't do it from the new studio, as far as I've been able to tell, but if you go into the classic studio, apparently you can, which once again just reinforces how much YouTube is continually trying to find different ways to make itself less functional, and I don't know why. So that's our fun challenge of the week. Well,
yes,
of the live stream for the week. Obviously, we have
that we like to do very hard, and I hope you understand now, because a lot of people keep asking us why we don't also stream the episode in the corner.
Yep. And why. As always, our reminder: no spoilers in the chat, since this is our first time watching it.
Hey, Austin.
So welcome everyone coming into the chat. I currently have no idea how many people are in the chat right now because I'm using the older version, which doesn't have the number anywhere. Because I don't know, everything about YouTube with live streaming just gets weirder and more confusing every time that we attempt it. It's very strange. Last week went pretty smooth, but that's about it.
This is going to be on the internet for all perpetuity, and everyone's going to see me being stupid.
I'm sorry that you're so sick, hon.
Because being sick makes you dumb.
I'm also just exhausted from the week. It was only a 3-day school week, but
Caleb just were up to 11.
It was a very, very busy 3-day school week. Thank you.
Hey, Athena.
I hope that everyone enjoyed the bonus video from our 3-day weekend.
I'm glad you're off work early.
You know, for the 7-year anniversary of Power Reviews.
Yeah, I hope you guys all had a chance to watch the Demons and Definitions.
Yes, the new Conversations in Context video, Demons and Definitions, If you haven't checked it out yet, you should.
Yeah.
It's an important topic, and I'm really glad that I finally got to tackle it. Even if it completely wiped me out for my 3-day weekend, going into my 3-day week with that weird day in between where there was a conference thing, whatever. But yeah,
Superintendent's
we had the
Day.
superintendent's conference day, and then we had the open house for the school, and then I had some observations for my grad work, and then I had to take kids on a field trip, and so it was just a very busy 3 days where I had to do a lot more prep than I normally do, despite having fewer classes. But now that week is over, we're here to enjoy some Power Rangers.
Yay!
I got to do some filming this morning
with
Dave to get caught up on a few more things with Guy, so that we have we're again making that slow, steady progress towards actually having things done. I just have so many things on my plate every week right now, but hopefully this weekend I can catch up a little bit now that I don't have that bonus video to work on, even though I do have a different video to work on for a different thing, and that's a completely separate thing, plus at least 2 more videos I gotta put together, so
even if you didn't like
Monday,
demons as Power Rangers villains, you still might like the video he made.
Yes.
Because remember, this takes Power Ranger stuff and uses it to discuss real world stuff.
We
like
have
the one we had about autism.
We don't have any Halloween costumes.
How do we access the episode? We have it on cable TV on the DVR.
Yeah, we just recorded it on cable. That's how we have
Halloween
the episode.
Costumes.
Not today.
No.
It's been a long week. I had honestly almost forgotten that it was the Halloween episode today.
I had forgotten it was the Halloween episode.
I don't think you ever knew it was the Halloween episode.
I
wasn't going to make you dress up because you're sick.
I'm dying.
We'll dress up when it's actually Halloween.
Yeah, well, I could have worn the dinosaur onesie.
That's fair.
That's cozy.
That is fair. No, we got Spectrum, which is awful. Hello, Daniel. Welcome to the chat. All right, so I think it's time to dive on in.
I got to do Halloween costumes next week. Will that be close to actual Halloween?
It will be closer than it is now.
Or will the week after that be even closer to actual Halloween?
The week after that... No, next week. Next week would probably be the best week. Because the week after that would be right after Halloween.
Next week, Halloween costumes.
So yeah, we'll do something for next week. But for now, let's take a look at the Halloween special of Power Rangers Beast Morphers Hypnotic Halloween.
Oh, where is it?
Did she try to dress up as a Viking?
I think so.
Happy Halloween, brother.
That's so cute.
Perfect. Not as perfect as my costume. No offense, Nick,
Frankenstein
but
and the monster,
you just
and
look
that's
like
adorable.
yourself.
That's true.
Well, Dr. Frankenstein and I are both scientists.
It's got very similar
Nothing's more
clothing
horrifying
goggles to me
than
right now.
Frankenstein's monster.
It's mine! Plundering Ingrid Ironax is scary too, right?
Why does she sound Irish if she's trying to dress up as a Viking?
I don't know. It's going to be very silly.
You're a Viking.
Nailed it! Detective Sherlock Holmes?
I'm mentoring my dear Zoe.
Their accents are everywhere.
You look great.
No worries.
Oh.
Hey, where's that?
Nice little couch.
Oh, he said he'll be late. He's not that big on Halloween.
Oh, are they going to be watching Scary Story?
Oh, wow.
It's one of the intergalactic Halloween court pumpkins in the background.
Weird streaming service.
Oh, so it is.
It's free, and the reviews say it'll scare our socks off.
They're watching
Not me.
scary
I'm the
movies
one
on a
that's
streaming
stuck in my
service.
Okay.
Can
here
you
we
actually
no.
eat
Oh
popcorn?
no.
Titles. I think.
Yep. Hypnotic Halloween, here it comes. Oh dear. Oh dear. Is it gonna work on steel too?
I
Apparently.
think I've seen this episode of The X-Files.
Hey, Scrozzle.
In costumes here. Listen closely, loud and clear. No longer are you playing pretend. You are your character till the very end.
Hello, Jacob Brown.
Hey.
What's he up to? Guys.
Steel's eyes are hilarious.
Oh man. criticized you.
Oh no. No. Oh no. This is awkward.
Robbie, don't leave. The name's Holmes. Sherlock Holmes. And who might you be? Yup, chap.
Mac dressing up as a robot was
Scholars
terrible.
like to believe they are their
Yes.
main characters. You gotta remember who you are. I answer only to Scotland Yard. And
What are you talking about?
are clearly not an officer of the law.
What?
What is this?
This is...
I have to be
What is your accent? Robbie, what is your accent?
How would Dr. K react to Beast Morphers? I don't know, but I bet you'd have a lot in common with Nate.
Huh?
What?
Holmes,
What
perhaps
is...
information for
What?
you. Come now, don't be shy.
What is happening?
He's dressed up
Yes,
as a Bobby.
officer. How can I help?
This is way too effective.
A missing person. Yes, that's right. His name is Robbie Shaw. He's missing. Tell me more about this. Robbie Shaw, what exactly?
Ironic that the shot of Scruzzle's hypnotic message is used as one of the Netflix Beast Morphers thumbnails.
Oh, that's great.
I just have a little toothache.
Oh,
Like
okay.
this one? No, I don't do
It is a clip show.
Jill still gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Gesundheit. It's a clip show to restore their memories.
Bill, you okay? But my team just lost the game.
What? Where?
But once he realized that fear was
This
all that
is
he had,
this is what's
he was
happening.
able to face it.
This is what's happening.
I can do this. And another thing about this Robbie Shaw, he was nice enough to teach a boy some martial arts. He taught him that karate should only be used to defend yourself. Good to see you.
You're just describing Robbie's filler episodes.
When we're done, no one will dare to pick on me.
This episode. How is it that the second clip of this clip show is literally from last week?
Defend yourself. You cool with that?
Sure, I get it.
Okay. Let's do this. So, when Joey came face to face with the bully, he didn't fight, but he stood up for himself. Thanks to Robbie.
I kind of wish that Devin had been Sherlock Holmes because his accent is far less insane.
Leave him alone.
Or what, Dweebus?
Dweebus. Forgot that he...
Come on, let's go.
Okay, so apparently it's...
Yeah, it would have,
Oh,
I guess it has to be.
Yes.
Okay,
It's a normal.
okay,
Guess I make a pretty convincing police officer.
I'm
Where is everyone?
I think it's kind of great that Ravi was the first one they cured, just so that we didn't have to deal with the Sherlock Holmes accent for the rest of the episode.
Zoe, I'll have to be.
What? What?
I get it. Sure worked on me. Well, I find Zoe. I track down Dr. Nate Frankenstein. Got it.
This is insane. I'll roll with it, but this is
But who are you
insane.
going to dress up to be for that?
You need to clear all personnel off subfloor 8. Excuse me? I don't have time to explain. Just trust me. Lock down subfloor 8. Locking down subfloor 8.
Go
What?
forth, delicious snack.
What is even... what? She's trying to break it open with a
Go
plastic...
forth, delicious snacks! A Viking after my own heart.
She's trying to break open the vending machine with a plastic axe.
It is I, Devon, son of Daniels. I come in peace.
You're a leader here to steal my plunder!
A leader? No!
I will give up my
Wow, they are hamming so hard right now. What?
Is that not a plastic axe?
Rangers, bum, bum, Cocoa
Wait.
Power Rangers.
Now we have the credits?
It's morphin' time.
The
For
cast
justice
must have
we
a song.
fight, with beast morphin' light. Together we rise. Bow, wow, wow, wow. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers. Power Rangers Beast Morphers.
I agree with the theme. The cast must have had a blast.
Yeah. I do find it really funny that we've already resolved one of the brainwashings before even hitting the opening credits.
Yeah, I forgot we weren't already past the credits until the credits showed up. The weirdest possible time.
It's easy to forget that every time, since the credits are now, instead of being after the cold open, after the first act.
Apparently, Beast Morphers episodes 1 through 8 are now on Netflix.
That is true. They did just recently arrive on Netflix.
So he got one of those fish spas.
Yep, but I'm pretty sure that's because they were bronze. So we got some Pokemon Happy Meals going on. Isn't it? Oh, cute.
And the Happy Meal fun goes on and on and on. When you ask your parents to download the McPlay app.
I feel like Zoe is trying to be Flynn from RPM.
Yes,
so to
he's Scottish.
So,
he's not a Viking.
So Caleb, to answer the question that I saw from you before we started the stream, yes, it is currently reminding me of RPM in that we have somebody trying to pretend to be Scottish. Although in this case,
she claims she's a Viking.
She claims she's a Scottish Viking. I can't even right now with the accent. So I'm not going to pretend that I'm great with accents, but I'm also not going to pretend that they're doing great with their accents. Devin's actually doing quite well. He's proving to be quite versatile. Hey, Ollie, how you doing, little bud?
If you finish, you get to get money tickets. Tickets. You play games to get them. It's not
Okay.
It's easy. Very.
Okay, you were talking about Evox before. Yeah, Evox is clearly similar to Venjix in terms of being an evil computer virus. I find that that's about it as far as similarities go.
Actually, last I checked, New Zealand doesn't even air Power Rangers because it's too violent.
I think they've started airing them now at this stage. I'm not 100% sure though. Yeah, I remember Plants vs. Zombies being a thing. Never played it, but I remember that being a thing.
Have fun with the new Lego Friends amusement pier. Visit Lego Life for more fun. Ask your parents before going online.
Well, at least they're getting more creative with the Lego Friends. So that's something.
Take that, Joker!
Next Transforming Batmobile RC comes this show. Other toys sold separately. Batteries not included.
Give us your lucky charm!
Crazy Batmobile.
Isn't fast enough!
Well, how about four?
Okay, Guess Lucky Charms has unicorn marshmallows now.
Yes, yeah. Oh, they're really stepping it up on the unicorn. Oh, it's been a mini-series.
I never want to put any one of you in danger. Are you in or out? Do you have a plan?
Your destiny is to kill Mr. Top Hat.
This
What?
looks interesting.
Friday.
Your destiny
Is to kill Mr. Top Hat,
kill Mr. Top Hat.
apparently.
Let's do this.
Are you afraid of the dark? Catch up tonight at 7. And don't miss
Cool.
the epic conclusion Friday at 7. Only
Cool.
on Nick.
Monsters watching a scary movie.
Okay.
It's because humans are kissing. And we're back!
You know what?
Alright,
Gonna be a
and
thing?
what's going to be the thing with this X?
There was a boy in that Lego Friends.
Okay, yeah, it's a rubber X.
I was lucky.
What's
Jesse
that?
Torres points out that there was a boy in that Lego Friends commercial.
Oh, nice.
Think so. Sorry, Ingrid.
What? What's happening? What? Okay. Okay, sure.
Timber?
Kinda like being a Viking.
Yeah, it was a rubber X, so did not hurt him.
Nonsense. You are fierce and brave. You remind me of the greatest warrior ever to fight beside me. The mighty Zoe Reeves.
Zoe Reeves?
Zoe Reeves is a fearless warrior who
This is
never
so
runs away
silly.
from a challenge and will always jump in to solve big problems. Like the day she became a ranger.
Is this a drill?
No, there's an attack in the morphing room. We're evacuating.
No, I'm not afraid of big problems.
Oh, they started airing when it came back after
okay.
PM was. So they didn't. So the first one they would have gotten was Samurai.
I'm sorry. Boom! Okay, now we got another.
And is always quick to apologize and make things right.
Okay,
Has
this
anyone seen my tablet?
Well, thank you, Jesse.
Jack says he
Okay.
brought it here to charge, but I
was
looked
the
and he didn't.
scene with Jax.
Ugh, sometimes I think I'd be better off without a B-spot.
Speaking of which, has anyone seen the B spots in several episodes now?
We saw Jax in episode 12.
Jax,
I want to say
And
no,
this-
11. 11.
And this is
This is episode 14. I mean, technically,
okay.
Steel is kind of a B spot.
Guess I count on you for more than I realize.
No,
Truth is, I've taken you for granted.
it's okay. So do the writers. We really don't see enough of the B spots.
Zoe, that's me.
Yeah.
Wait, what am I doing? What are you doing in a costume? Thought you didn't like them.
It's a long story.
No.
More fun than I expected.
No. Okay, so he's learning to like Halloween.
Dr. Frankenstein, am I really so hideous that even you can't look at me? Yes!
This is very silly.
Creating you was a grave error. I know. Hey, who are you? I'm Dr. Robbie Shaw, and I'm afraid you both are in need of some treatment.
Okay.
What is the meaning of this? Dr. Frankenstein, don't be alarmed. We're here to help. So you can hang in this.
I'm Dr. Reeves. We heard that you and your creation have not been getting along.
My
They're giving them therapy.
is an utter failure.
We heard
Also-
that you and your creation have not been getting along.
So you'd listen. Because
Okay.
we know a scientist who
Okay,
is
Zoe's bow
best friends
tie
with research.
is adorable.
They're so close. They're basically brothers.
She's trying to be Dr. Phil right now.
Their
Yes,
names
she
are
is.
Nate and Steve. They're known as the Gold and Silver Power Rangers. They work together to fight evil. Really? Yes. It all began when Nate was forced by an evil virus to create a robot body. But luckily, he had a trick up his sleeve. Well done. That should be more than enough.
At least it isn't Halloween court.
It's true.
Zoe's accents are wonderful. I don't know. They're definitely better than Robbie's, that's for sure.
Yes.
4 out of 5 fake doctors are not made out of robot parts, while the remaining one is part human.
There we go.
All along, Nate was planning to morph into a ranger. What's he doing?
Shiny.
The ranger's DNA worked.
The interaction between Devin and Zoe is typical interracial. I can sense it.
Okay. I don't know.
No way.
Whoosh.
You just morphed.
Oh, is that what happened? Fantastic. Oh, amazing.
And he definitely didn't expect one other surprise.
I'm not sure I understand, Chris. I think you'll have to explain that a little bit more.
Well,
I don't know.
you see,
I
the
might
thing
just-
is, I'm human.
Probably a type of name or something.
He's right. Sort of. Turns out that Morphex bonded his systems to Scarabeetle DNA and to my DNA.
Yes, making me the perfect ranger.
You Rangers have always been like my family. But now, I finally have a real brother.
By the
So-
way, last week's Minosaur was a Dullahan.
Oh, that's
Still
right.
is a headless horseman.
Yeah. Like in Durara.
So you see, they are real brothers and great friends.
Okay. And away go the swirlies. Goodbye, swirlies.
Steel, I am so sorry. You are not Hades' creation at all.
I know that. I'm stunning.
You're pretty stunning, Steel.
Glad to have you back, both of you.
Devin, what's your status?
Everybody's okay, Commander.
Great work, but I have bad news. A Robotron has been spotted trying to break into a Morphex tower in Sector Bravo 48.
Okay.
We won't let that happen, Commander. Let's roll.
Only shooting stars. Swing the mower?
They're referencing All Stars.
No,
Spiketron.
only shooting stars.
Break the mold.
The mold.
Yeah.
At least those foolish rangers are busy playing dress up, thanks to
They probably have multiple steel costumes, and I really hope season 2 does not have a love triangle between Devin, Nate, and Zoe. The last thing we
I'm
need
amused
is love
that
triangles.
Spiketron is that was the one that was Forktron, I believe, or Forkroid in Go Busters. That was a fun one. Rawr. Like the whoosh wars.
If the only shooting stars break the mold.
Yeah.
It
Yeah?
looks like the robot is made of tuning forks.
Well, I mean, in the Sentai, he was made of just regular forks.
And he was called Forkloid, according to Kidder96.
Yeah, Forkroid. Forkroid, Lloyd, however it works.
Here, of course, he is Spiketron.
Yes.
We have to do something about that Gigadrome. You two go. I'll handle pointy head.
That was the episode where Jin had his random English cursing moment.
We gotta slow it down. Zoe?
On it! Rapid blast!
Of all the monsters, I guess the fork monster was the one they just felt like not really focusing on. Oh, we got another Delta.
Oh no.
This is creepy.
And now into the commercials.
That was no less creepy when it happened in End of Evangelion than it is here.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna note here, Dustin. So he's saying they named it Forktron they named it Spiketron instead of Forktron because Forktron would sound too stupid. Why are they concerned with that? With everything else that has happened in this episode. Like,
It looks like this robot will create a fork in the road? I mean, I
Sure.
get the pun, but I'm not really sure how it's creating a dividing path.
sure, why not? I feel like 4 unicorns would be just as fast as the 1 unicorn. That's, like, functionally speaking, that's
when
not
it
how
comes
speed
to pulling
works.
a cart,
That's-
you might be able to get more speed out of additional unicorns.
That's true, and the 1 unicorn was probably tired. But generally speaking, though,
What is going on?
just on their own, 4 unicorns are not faster than 1 unicorn, I would think.
New Cheeky Puffs are the cutest way to get your
Excuse
flow
me.
on. Pretty on the
What?
outside with a surprise plush on the inside. They're sparkly.
What?
They're sweet. They're Cheeky Puffs, each sold separately.
Okay.
It won't actually be wrestling today. We'll be learning.
Weird.
Now it's mixed up.
Yeah! Make your own mixed up fun with Lunchables with 100% juice.
November 1st, 30
Ooh.
amazing families will take the stage, but only one will become America's most musical family. Are you
We all know that America's most musical family is the Partridge Family.
That was so incredible.
Most of the episodes. Why unicorn? Yeah, that's a very good question, Olivia. Why unicorns?
Because they're magically delicious. I don't know. I've heard, I think I've read the 2020 Sentai name somewhere, but let's hold off on any reveals on that.
So
Because
wait a minute,
I like to
Ryan's
give
World is on
MJ
actual TV?
a surprise. What is that, a YouTube show that is now having merchandising being advertised on Nickelodeon?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Woo!
some legitimacy.
Become a Sea Life friend. Push and pledge at Lego.com.
Wow,
Ask your parents
Lego
before
Friends
going
is
online.
really stepping
Lego
it up.
Friends is doing marine biology.
Huh, that's cool.
You can get new appliances, sofas, TVs, computers,
I mean, not that there's much that has been revealed about the new Sentai. Like, I'm aware of the little bit that's been posted. Like, I think I've seen the name, which implied the premise, and that's about it.
Pets you can turn into bracelets
Um,
or anything. New animals and styles like Twisty Pets lip gloss, pom pom, and water glitter. Fashion with an animal twist. Twisty
What?
Pets bracelets and
You're right,
styles
Jesse.
so
Yeah,
separately.
Doc Brown established that more horses doesn't make for more speed when you're trying to get up to 88 miles an hour.
Because
Now-
the top speed of a horse
but-
is 40 miles
But
per hour.
apparently, what he really needed was more unicorns.
Well, also, it's possible that if you were only trying to reach a max speed of 30 miles per hour, that an additional unicorn would help.
True.
Remember, he's just trying to outrun small children on bicycles.
I suppose.
So it might just require a little bit of extra unicorn to
Do you like scary stories?
overcome the weight of his chariot.
Yeah. Well, he didn't have a chariot at first. He just had the one unicorn at first.
Yeah, one unicorn pulling a chariot.
No, it was just
No?
he was just riding a unicorn, and then
Oh.
he cast a spell, and then suddenly him and the unicorn were in the chariot being pulled by the other 3 unicorns. Which, yeah, you know, it gives your one unicorn a break from carrying you, but now
Now the other
those 3 are
unicorns
carrying
can
you,
and
the chariot,
unicorn.
and you, the unicorn, and the chariot.
No, see, I thought it was one unicorn pulling a chariot
No, it
replaced by 3 unicorns pulling a chariot.
There was
So
no
that's-
chariot until he got the other.
And
unicorn.
that remains no less creepy here
And
than
we're
it was
back.
in Evangelion.
Yep. There we go.
Any classic seasons of Power Rangers you have a love-hate relationship with?
Right, any.
Yes, Jesse, that makes perfect sense. That's exactly what Jake was trying to say.
Yes.
Devin and Zoe are in trouble. We need to help them. You need to help yourself. Bobby, you go. We can handle the silverware. Okay. Maybe the Wheelers order.
I wouldn't say I have love-hate relationships with any classic seasons. Maybe with some of the more recent seasons. I mean, Super Megaforce is hilariously bad in a lot of respects. Like, it was so bizarre that it was entertaining.
Striker Saber, charge.
Nice.
Spirit power. Mantis power. Striker
Whoosh.
Beast Slash.
So much Beetle!
Yep. And down he goes.
Bye-bye. Sentai footage spotted. Yeah, it is.
Phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. This whole fight sequence has been Sentai footage. Since they morphed, I believe.
Know what I'm thinking? Megazord time.
There we go.
Beast X Megazord. Beast X Megazord unleashed.
I really wish the Delta Gigatron form had been given more of a proper introduction. It's such a crazy thing.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, it's doing sparks and...
Oh, that's not good.
No.
We're getting the Striker Megazord back in here?
My system's down. Gorilla mode.
Oof. This is a more extensive fight scene than I recall.
I can take a hit. No! We need to help the others. I'm with you, bro. Transform.
There we go.
Oh, it's the neighbors in the hallway.
Yeah.
Hi.
What's up?
Hold on, Smash.
But yeah, in the
A little bit stupid.
in the Sentai, the Delta form was actually based off the designs for the Striker Megazord form, which is why it has some similarities to it in terms of design. And it's a little bit of a shame they didn't tie that in, because I thought that was a nice little touch. Boom.
Now, watch this.
Hooking it. Yeah, I believe this was.
Take you for
I believe this was the Sentai
It
footage
seems needlessly reckless.
from their introduction from their proper introduction of these forms for their Zords. Because I think they showed off the beetle forms in one episode, and then this was when they really showed off the vehicle forms. And so it was, that was the introduction of the battle mode for the Record Zord. But yeah, if you look at the design of the Record Zord, it's very similar in design to the Delta Gigadrome. It's got the same crest on its head. It's got the same blade thing on its arm.
How do you like this?
And I think that was always kind of a cool design aesthetic thing.
Ooh.
Its extending arm is so ridiculous. It's hilarious. This is a fun finisher. Whoosh! Collider Crash.
Kaboom.
Nice. Good job.
They did it. That was close.
All right, who's ready for movie marathon round 2?
Are you sure about this?
Don't worry, we were the only ones to access Scrawls' website before I shut it down.
Hey, where's Devin?
Probably taking off the costumes he ate so much.
He's a ninja. He's a.
To pick with you? Chill out, you guys. It's just me.
He decided that it's fun.
Sensei Bones is my favorite character of Backstreet Brawler 3. Pretending to be him is just a blast.
Wait a sec. Now you like wearing costumes?
Yay!
There we go.
Silly, but once I got into being the character, Halloween became a lot of fun.
Yay! There we go.
Who wants to take on the Sensei?
Now those make clanging noises, but before we establish that it's a rubber,
Maybe his toy sword.
a rubber axe.
Maybe his toy sword has built-in sound effects.
Wow, my brain is off.
I'm gonna go with his toy sword has built-in sound effects.
Yay for built-in sound effects.
That is my explanation.
I still haven't watched that Toy Story.
No, we still haven't seen Toy Story 4. I'm sure that it's very good, because every Toy Story movie has been. We just haven't got around to seeing it. I think we were just never in an emotional state to go see it, because it's just... Toy Story has developed a reputation for...
making you cry!
Just emotionally wrecking you. Alright, so let's see. Oh, well, so regarding this episode, it was cute, very silly, you know.
It was a clip show.
It was a clip show. They had a few fun elements, but it was still pretty cheap and cheesy clip show.
Yes.
It felt very similar in certain regards to The Ghostest with the Mostest, but without the added mystery element that made that one extra interesting.
Which one was the ghostest?
That was the Dino Charge Halloween special for their first year, where they...
Oh yeah, where they were trying to figure out which one
was the fake. And so they were using their memories to prove who they were. In this case, it was using their memories to get their memories back, which I guess is more in line with the
At the time, Mr. Hellman, it came across more offensive because they also had an Asian Yellow Ranger.
Yeah.
And it was the 90s.
Yeah.
It was total coincidence, but they were just like, oh, wow, that came off wrong, so let's swap them. So you got Aisha for the Yellow Ranger and
Adam for the
Black Ranger.
And
they did not do that again until Overdrive, and then they made it a terrible thing again because they cast an actual thief to play a thief.
Yeah.
Because
I don't think he was a thief at the time they cast him. But yeah, there were bad connotations in that one. But yeah, and then the whole, I guess the premise was a little bit more in line with the Dino Supercharged Christmas special, where they got brainwashed and then they had to use their memories to unbrainwash them. With the added element of the costumes, having them play characters, and so we had
that was fun.
A little pseudo lesson. I don't even know if I'd call it a lesson of the week.
Oh, but it was cute that Devin learned to appreciate Halloween costumes.
Yeah. I thought Ghostest with the Mostest was a better Halloween special. Primarily because it had that mystery element. Which I thought was very nice.
Trying to figure out who's the fake.
The whodunit made it a lot of fun. This one was very wacky.
Tyler the Evil Elf. Very funny.
I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit more if they'd done something a little bit more with the Rangers being their respective characters. And if the accents weren't just so... Well, the accents were bad enough that they were entertaining. In Zoe's case.
In Ravi's case,
it was just really awkward. Which is a shame because...
I think part of it is if you're going to do a bad accent, you have to commit 100%. And Zoe really did.
She did.
But Ravi was just like, no, I'm going to try and make this work. I'm going to try and make this actually work. And he could not make this actually work.
It was slipping in and out and all over the place. It was like a slip and slide.
There were no clips in the last third of the clip show.
That's true. Well, it was all the Sentai battle.
Which is fiscally approximately the same.
Yeah. We got Shaw. We didn't
Mom, lockdown.
We didn't get Ben and Betty, but we did get Shaw this time. Actually, I would have liked to have seen Ben and Betty in this one. This seemed like an episode where they could have had some fun interactions with the Rangers.
Lockdown, floor 8. Excuse me?
Yeah.
Mom!
Just do it!
Mom! I don't have time to explain.
But,
Mom!
I feel like Ben and Betty would have gotten into the Halloween spirit, and that could have been fun. But it looks like they tried to keep it low on the supporting cast for the Halloween episode, as they often do.
Yeah, like Jesse says.
Yeah.
Clip shows, they try to keep the price down.
Exactly.
So.
But yeah, I do kind of wish that we had seen what Ben and Betty decided to do for Halloween, because I feel like that would have actually...
They would have had some pretty fun costumes.
They tend to be very hit and miss, but I feel like that would have been a good fit for their characters, especially considering how childlike they behave. Halloween would be a natural fit for them.
Horse costume?
Exactly.
Yes, and of course...
we know that Power Rangers has a horse costume.
Betty would have made herself the front.
Yeah. We know that Power Rangers at least has had a horse costume because Victor and Monty dressed up as a horse in episode 8 of Power Rangers Ninja Steel when they were in line to meet Levi Weston.
I love how he just knows this off the top of his head.
Yeah.
This is what I married.
But I also feel like Ravi as Sherlock Holmes was a missed opportunity.
A two-headed parrot. Why?
It's a reference to a Power Rangers monster. From season 1. Which, although they were just referred to the two-headed parrot in the In the show, the actual toy, I believe, was called Pete and Repeat. What?
You almost dropped your phone.
Yeah, it was on my charger and got snagged.
Will we go on the Amazing Race? You know what's funny is
We've
actually considered
we've
whether or not that was a good idea, and we've decided it would be a terrible idea because I am a hypersomniac.
Yeah, it wouldn't go well for you.
Crying by the third episode.
Like, we'd work together well.
We work together so well, but the problem is we would not get enough sleep.
You would not survive that.
No, I'm not physically well enough for it, so the problem with it would definitely be that, like, we would get to one of those situations where they're, like, running and they're dropping their bags or whatever, and I would just collapse on my knees and cry.
No, you know who actually...
I wouldn't be able to walk anymore.
You know who I would probably actually do really well with? Dave.
Yeah.
Dave and I would...
Jake and Dave would go really good.
We'd probably do quite well.
Yeah.
Because...
Like, if you could cut out all the running parts of The Amazing Race, then I could try and do that, but,
Ask why it's debating whether or not to show that. Ah, there it goes.
I don't know either. But I could, like, but the physical activity would, it would just result in me crying on TV. I mean, you see that where the people who don't have the physical stamina necessary get really snippy with each other and crying and arguing, and then they, like, stop being in the race, and then they're just like, I love this person, and I'm sorry I screamed at you, it was just too much stress, and it's like, that is guaranteed to happen, because our relationship would be fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We'd come out of it fine.
We have basically been through the Amazing Race on, like, every vacation we've ever taken. We've had horrible luck with our vacations. They have been exhausting.
Especially when you booked them.
Just did that one. But just in general as well.
Yes. Hey, our honeymoon came out great.
True. It was still exhausting.
It was exhausting. But it came out great.
But anyway, back to my point from before is with the missed opportunities with the Rangers as their characters. And like, I was okay with it because I didn't really... I knew that if I kept seeing Ravi as Sherlock Holmes, it was going to get annoying, but you had a character think he was Sherlock Holmes, and you didn't have him try to solve a mystery.
Seriously.
The mystery
was, where is you?
Where is you? I am me!
Oh!
I'm Ner, and this is my wallet!
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, per previous agreement, I am bailing out of this episode early because I am sick as a dog, but you get to keep talking to Jake through this lovely chat interface until Jake decides to call the rest of the episode. Because
you are sick, you may depart early. I'll wrap up the discussion here. Because we are already getting near the end of things. But I will be happy to address any further questions from the chat. And I guess you guys can see me talk to myself, as I tend to do. So, yeah, as far as I tackled my main concerns with this episode, with the lack of the use of the Sherlock Holmes character, I consider to be something of an issue. And I will admit I did find the whole rubber axe reaction to be funny. Devin was actually, I thought, really strong with all of his with his characters, both as the Bobby, then as the Viking, the doctor being sort of a non-character, and Zoe being Dr. Phil as the doctor. She just committed so hard to her accents. It was. I was smiling the whole episode. You guys could see I was smiling the whole episode. Even while it was being, like, a little bit brain-hurty absurd. So I'd be hard-pressed to say if this was a good episode or a bad episode. Because I was entertained. I was entertained. Even while also acknowledging that it was clearly flawed on a number of points, and they made some very silly choices, like, you're Ravi. You used to be scared of dentists. That is your trait. You taught that sad tuba kid about karate. And it's like, you're not going to talk about his tragic relationship with his ex-girlfriend or his complicated issues with his mom. These are just... Devin, I feel like you're not really Ravi's friend. I feel like you don't really know him that well. If these are the two things that come to mind. It's like, yeah, you're Ravi, you're scared of the dentist. I mean, you were. And also there was that thing you did last week with that tuba kid. Yeah. Remember that? Last week? Like, of all the character traits to focus on. Can we ever get a holiday episode that's not a clip show episode and go back to clip shows at the very end of the series before the finale? I feel like at this point it's... I feel like at this point it's become a standard thing. And, okay, yeah, Scott, you did just make a good point. I can move to the middle of the couch, I guess. I don't know if this makes you guys happier for me to be in the middle of the couch. Grave Robber, I thought, was a very good example of coming up with something that was a Sentai burner instead of a clip show. That was one of the best ones, I think, as far as being innovative with not having a budget for the holiday episode. And yet, you know, Ninja Steel, despite being very flawed in many ways, actually really thought through its first two holiday specials to a surprising extent in terms of trying to be creative with them. Like, they were still very silly. Especially the time travel one. But there was a lot of thought that went into both of those. Like, Grave Robber, they made the effort of coming up with an episode that wasn't a clip show, but still made use of Sentai footage. And then the time travel one, again, they weren't... It wasn't entirely a clip show in that they were actually traveling back in time to the clips. And they even must have shot those locations in advance, which was a shocking amount of foresight as far as this show goes. And yeah, then the Poisey show, although it was a clip show, did do a nice job of tying a bow on things for the Dino Charge Ninja Steel, 2-installment era. The the sort of mini era, the second half of the Saban Brands era that Chip had control over. And yes, the Ninja Steel Halloween, Ninja Steel Christmas episode was basically Avengers Endgame, as we now know. The Halloween courts have been very silly. But yeah, it's surprising that of all the seasons that we've had now, this is our 9th year of having, well, not 9th year because Super Mega Force didn't happen. Okay, so this is the 8th out of 9 years to have these holiday specials. And there's only been one that wasn't a clip show. And that's kind of interesting. With that one being Grave Robber. Although the past, present, and future was a little bit of a gray area. All right, so well, have a good night, Jesse. And all right, and Dustin, going off of the description, it looked like you're going to be a squirrel. or possibly Squirrel Girl. Maybe you want to be Squirrel Girl? I don't know. Oh, that's right, Trickster Treat. Well, Trickster Treat is a weird example because it is and it isn't. Okay, you're right. Trickster Treat was an example of one that wasn't exactly a clip show, but it also was because it did recycle footage from the finale, which is weird. They recycled the unmorphed fight footage from the finale that hadn't yet aired, so it was like a reverse clip show. And that was also the only time that we saw the Rangers unmorphed. It was very weird. Okay, so you are being a squirrel and not Squirrel Girl. Just double checking. She's super powerful, so yeah. Trickster Treat was all Sentai footage except for that one little bit where they showed the Rangers fighting in the quarry unmorphed. There was that one little bit of Trickster Treat where they were unmorphed, where they were fighting, and then they did the rewind, replay, which was weird. However, I do absolutely love our review of Trickster Treats. That was one of my favorite reviews. It's one of my favorite Power Rangers Power Reviews episodes that we've done. If you haven't seen our review of Trickster Treat, you absolutely should. It's DRPR 44. It all takes place in Database Ranger's head, and it's super fun. So, oh, hey Rose. Yeah, we just wrapped up. So, yeah, I think unless you guys have any other questions for me, I don't know how many of you may have checked out the conversations in context from earlier this week. I don't know if you have any questions about that. As I've said, I'm still working on Power Reviews 89. Got some more footage done today, but it's still a slow thing. And yes, Rose, I would agree that the actors really pushed themselves this episode. The only one that I felt was a weak link, unfortunately, was Jazz as Ravi. He was trying, but his Sherlock Holmes accent just was really not doing it for me. I like that he was trying to go out there with it. Yeah, I will say that the Spiketron or Forkroyd or whatever you want to call it, he's a cool looking monster. But I really wish they could have found one that was a bit more in the season of Halloween. I don't know which Go Busters monster would have been a better fit, but I feel like there should have been one that could have worked better. The only ones that are coming to mind are from late in the series, and so it would make sense they wouldn't want to use those. Like, maybe the film Roid would have been cool if you were doing movie monsters, but I think that one went up against the Ultrazord, so that wouldn't have been appropriate. And then there's the Beetle Roid, or whatever it was called, Kowagata Roid, from towards the end of the series, which again would have been too advanced of a Zord battle. Yeah, it's interesting that the Burneroid hasn't been adapted yet. I don't know if we're going to see that one or not, which has been a little strange. And yes, Trickster was a very sort of exotic design by just being really creepy looking. I forget what the name of the kami was that it was, of the yokai was that it was based off of. I keep losing the word for yokai. But I do believe that it was the inspiration for the Pale Man from Pan's Labyrinth, and that's just a cool, creepy design. I know in our review of that episode, we tackled a little bit of the mythology behind it. To Know Me, that was it. Yes. And as far as what I'm going to be for Halloween, I have not actually decided. I'm probably going to be like a mad scientist or something, because I feel like it'd be appropriate for school. Like, specifically, I'm heavily considering Doc Brown right now, just because I know I've got that. I've just put a bunch of white in my hair, wear some goggles and a lab coat, and I'm pretty much there. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Doing a conversations in context about adoption. There have been quite a few Power Rangers who have been part of adopted families. That is something I hadn't thought of. There's a lot of topics to explore. So that'd be an interesting one to add onto the list. I've been trying to aim for slightly more topical discussions, but as I continue to expand, that does seem like it would be an interesting thing to explore. Because it's not just Trent. We have had multiple Rangers from adopted families with complex relationships with their adopted families. So yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I don't know when the next Conversations in Contexts will be, especially since I'm so behind on so many things right now. But I'll keep you guys in the loop on that. And with that, I think we're pretty much wrapping up with the end of things. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this week's live reactions. Sorry that MJ had to go rest. Hopefully we'll be feeling better next week. I'm even feeling a little tickly here. So I should probably get a nice good amount of sleep, because I've got a ton of grading to catch up on. So all of you guys in the chat, thank you again for joining us. I hope you have a great night, and a great time prepping for Halloween. And until next time, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you. All right. So thank you again, and you guys all have a great night. And I just gotta find where the button is now. There we go. All right. Have a good night, guys. Catch you later.